Well, we're off to a great start. In the immortal words of Danny Tanner, wake up San Francisco and everybody else in Real Take Nation. We got the boys. The crew is back. HMO Real Take taking over, talking about Wild Card Weekend in the NFL. Got a lot to talk about. But first, let's introduce the boys. We got first. Oh, I'm just botching this. It's been a long ass week. But first, we got Mr. HMO. We got Damn It Dro from HMO Podcast. Pedro, how you doing?
Oh man, thanks for having us on once again. It's always a great link up. Real Take HMO. Happy to be back. Hey, congrats on 1K subs again. I think this is our first time being on here since that happened. So again, congrats on that. Keep putting in that good work. Thanks for having us. R.I.P. Bob Saget.
R.I.P. Bob Saget. And congrats on y'all. I saw recently y'all passed the 1 million view mark, I believe.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah. So hey, we eating out here. We eating.
Yes, sir. You already know, man. We up
As
to
always.
All the scraps that YouTube's giving us right now. But of course, we're not just joined by Dro. We got the conscience of the internet sports community, Brooks. What's up, Brooks?
What's up, guys? Man, thank you for having us again, Omer. And let's get into this Wild Card Weekend stuff now.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
congrats on 1K as well.
Thank you. But the reason we're here, everyone, Wild Card Weekend. By the way, guys, if you're watching this, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Also, go to the description, go to HMO Podcast on YouTube, give them a follow. They're great. We got so much to talk about. Let's do the rundown right now for Super Wildcard Weekend. Yes, it's super because we got football on Saturday night. We got playoff football on Sunday night. We got playoff football on Monday night. Every single night of this long weekend, we got playoff football. We're gonna get into all of these games individually in just a minute. But Pedro, I'm gonna start with you. What game are you most excited for this coming Sunday, or this coming weekend, I should say, in the NFL?
First of all, I just want to say that's amazing. Football every night of the entire weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, man. That's incredible. So Super Wild Card Weekend. I like what the NFL did with that one there. Nicely done. The game that I'm looking forward to the most, I want to say it's between two games, but I think I have a personal bias on one of them. So Brooks y'all probably both know which game I'm talking about. I want to see Kansas City Chiefs and my boy Patrick Mahomes. Are they really going to keep being on the stride that they've been on? Obviously, it's the Steelers. They got blessed to even be in the playoffs in the first place because the Chargers decided to take that time out instead of just tying peacefully. They both get into the playoffs. Talking about the Raiders, which is the other game that I'm kind of looking forward to because Derek Carr, he's an interesting case to me, man. One day he's looking elite, and then another day he's looking mid AF. And then you have Joe Burrow, who's becoming slowly one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Guys are talking about they'll take him 5 years in the future over Mahomes. Like, guys on ESPN are saying that. So Joe Burrow, and he definitely deserves high praise. I'm not going to say I'll take him over Mahomes, but like, he's looking great. Jamar Chase looking great. I'm looking forward to seeing that game and the Sunday night game. Is that Sunday where the Chiefs and Steelers play? I'm really looking
Sunday night, prime time. We got the 2 seed versus the 7 seed. What a game, by the way, to put in prime time, by the way. The game where everyone knows who's going to win and everyone knows who's going to get clobbered in that game. Like, no chance for the Steelers in that game. Absolutely no chance. If the Steelers win that game, I will dye my fucking hair red. I swear.
Oh, is that a bet on live? You got a bet
We're
on
live.
there.
Hold me to it, Cincy in the chat. Cincy, our great mod in
Oh
the
my
chat.
gosh,
Hold
bro.
me to it.
That's
Hold
definitely
me
a
to
challenge.
it.
That's a Barney Stinson challenge right there. You gotta do
Hold
it.
me to it, you damn yinzers out there in Pittsburgh. But Brooks, let's go to you. What matchup are you most excited for this NFL Super Wildcard Weekend?
Honestly, man, I'm looking forward to that Rams matchup for this weekend, man. I'm sorry, not the
Ooh.
my fault. I'm thinking of next week. My bad. I'm looking at
He's
the
like,
matchups
he's
right
already
now.
thinking about next week. He's like, when the Rams
Yeah, no.
win, when Kyler Murray chokes.
Honestly, bro, I'm definitely looking forward to the Bills and Patriots matchup. I want to see Josh Allen just run crazy on those guys. I know it's going to be super cold, but I think that's just going to be like one of those classic ice bowl type of games, and it's not going to be like a beautiful thing to watch, but it's definitely going to be some fun things going on.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Cincy in the chat says he will hold me to it. Hold me to it. Why? It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. For me, the most anticipated matchup for me is going to be this San Francisco versus Dallas Cowboys matchup. I think this is like probably, other than the Patriots Bills game, this is probably the most compelling game between a wild card team and a division winner, because I think San Francisco in this one generally the better team as far as who if they're at their best is going to show up and who can control the clock, who can run the best game plan. I think San Francisco has proven that throughout the season that they are able to do that, and we'll get into that much later in this show, I'm sure, but I just wanted to put that out there, boys. Do not sleep on the San Francisco 49ers, because this is a team that has gone there just recently. 2 years ago, they were in the Super Bowl. They got there. They still have those great pieces on defense. They have Armstead. They have Nick Bosa. They have Kyle Shanahan. I know he gets a lot of gruff for his fourth quarter play calls in the Super Bowls that he's been in, but he is a guy who can go there. I said go there. Jimmy G, pieces are around him. The running backs are healthy. The wide receiver, Deebo Samuel, is 50 in the NFL in receiving? Don't sleep on these Niners, boys. Don't sleep on these Niners. But let's talk about some people who might be being slept on. Guys, who do you think is under the most pressure? What individual player in this playoffs is under the most pressure to perform?
I think we should we should work backwards on this one. Let's start with the guys who have absolutely zero pressure. That being Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the first guy who has nothing to prove. I would say the Raiders have pretty much nothing to prove either. The Steelers don't have anything to prove either. We know the Raiders, what they've gone through this season, maybe for storyline purposes, but no one's expecting anything from them. The Bengals, they're a young team. No one's expecting anything from them. I would say it comes down to maybe Josh Allen and the Bills. They got a lot of pressure there. Dak and Dallas. I think those might be, and maybe that's the Cards and Rams as well. Those are the three matchups that both sides are actually not the Patriots, but the Bills have a lot.
Yo really went out there and named half the damn games in like half the damn teams in the playoffs.
I'm gonna narrow it down.
No, please, come on, go ahead. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Josh Allen needs to get past. Well, he's still a young quarterback too, so that's why I had to
4 years, bro. No, he's 4. This is his fourth year. This is his fourth year.
Oh man,
that's still relatively young though. Yeah, that's like he's 25, 26 now.
26, man. But the thing 26. Is, like, a lot of the quarterbacks by that age, 26, 27-ish, they had shown that they showed playoff success. They showed that they were able to put their team over the hump. Look at Aaron Rodgers. Look at Pat Mahomes. Look at all the guys who are considered greats. Peyton Manning's probably what's up?
Sorry, no. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying Peyton Manning's probably the one exception to that, but I think like there is a considerable amount of pressure on someone like Josh Allen, having been to the AFC Championship game last year, having made the playoffs the year before. I think the pressure is on him now because the expectation is that you win if you're the Buffalo Bills. It's not that you have a good run anymore. Last year, that was the expectation. Let's see if we can go out there, have a good run, and see what happens. This year, it's make the Super Bowl and win it, because that's what you constructed the team to do. That's why you went out and got Stephon Diggs. That's why you got better on defense. That's why you paid Josh Allen to be the second highest paid quarterback in the NFL, right? Like, I think the pressure's on. Brooks, I want to get your input on this, and then because I have my own idea about who is under the most pressure. I don't think it's Josh Allen, even though I very blanketly made the case for Josh Allen there. Brooks, please.
Nah, I do think it's Josh Allen because of everything that you just said. He's year 4, he's 26 years old. He's got to prove that he can actually be a big time winner. You know, last year, like you said, they went to the AFC Championship game, and you know they lost simply put. But he's got to be able to prove that he can be a Super Bowl level quarterback, excuse me, because you know, like that's what everybody's expecting from him. I mean, he's this big quarterback. He's had these great seasons, had an MVP quality year last year. So the only natural next step is to go to the Super Bowl. And if we're lucky, we'll see a Chiefs-Bills game for the AFC Championship again. And, you know, at that point, it becomes, I think Patrick Mahomes probably has a little more pressure because you can't let the guy that you've beaten so regularly, you know, get you again or beat you in the playoffs when that matters the most.
Pat Mahomes versus Josh Allen. The rivalry is budding. What's up?
Yeah, now I just want to say this, man. I saw what No Lara saying in the chat. Matt Stafford is under the most pressure. It's between Matt Stafford and Dak Prescott, in my opinion, because Dak Prescott, we already know about Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
All the way from Detroit, and now he has a good situation, a good defense, and he has a pretty good offense, but still looking kind of shaky there. And then you got the America's team, Dak Prescott. Are they going to finally get some playoff success? We already know Mahomes is going to do his thing. We already know that Josh Allen's going to do his thing. We know all these other guys are going to do their thing. But Dak Prescott and Matt Stafford, the two guys that are under the absolute most pressure.
I think you could make a case for Dak Prescott definitely because of how he's performed and how the Cowboys have performed in the playoffs in the past years. But I think it's like unanimously Matt Stafford. I think it's just the thing that I always come back to with Matt Stafford is that no matter what Matt Stafford does, he goes out there, he has 30 touchdowns, like 9 interceptions this year, something along the lines of that, right? He has a good season. Cooper Kupp is leading the NFL, almost 2,000 yards receiving. Great season for him. The defense got better. Jalen Ramsey, Von Miller, Aaron Donald, all 3 levels of the game on defense, they are better. But that puts more pressure on Matt Stafford to come up big. And what have we seen this entire season? Go to the Titans game on Sunday Night Football. Go to any time this team has needed a drive to win the game. Unless you're talking about that game against the Ravens where they were playing the practice squad deep secondary for the Baltimore Ravens. If you want to count that, go ahead. But other than that game, this team has not proven that they are able to come back with Matt Stafford leading the helm. And this is someone who Matt Stafford, no matter what people want to say, yes, he's a better quarterback than Jared Goff. But if we're 3 years down the line, right? If we're 3 years down the line and Matt Stafford, and we're talking about, Matt Stafford finally won his first playoff game as a Ram, it is going to be a failure. That is what this entire thing. The Rams don't have a first-round pick until 2027. And they have gone all in. The pressure is on Matt Stafford not only to win the playoff game this year, not only to get to the NFC Championship game, not only to get to the Super Bowl, get to win the Super Bowl, hoist up that Lombardi. If they don't, it's a failure. That, for me, puts way more pressure on him than anyone else in the field because it is going to be categorically a failure because of how much has been invested. And no matter what, guys, if, again, 3 years down the line, we're talking about Matt Stafford won a playoff game and he's done or whatever, he retires, it is always going to come back that Jared Goff went to a Super Bowl with that team and Matt Stafford didn't. And you could argue Matt Stafford had the better overall team. That is going to be a huge indictment on Matt Stafford. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. He might even end up being in the Hall of Fame one day. But it's going to be a bad look. And it's going to, honestly, it's going to prove the narrative that, he's a really good quarterback, but he's not great. It's going to prove that narrative right. So for me, he wants to go out there and prove it. He needs to play the best ball of his life this playoffs. He needs to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's facts, man. If he doesn't win the Super Bowl this year, then, I mean, it's. I would even say they probably still have another year, but if they don't take care of it this year, next year is going to be it might seem like the pressure could overcome them even, and they might just not get it done if they don't do it this year. I would say you could also make a similar case for Dak, although he doesn't have the same weapons that Matt Stafford has. I mean, you could say Austin Cooper and CeeDee Lamb, and now they have a good defense, right? Now their defense is actually looking pretty solid. Given you have Diggs getting cooked a lot of times. He has a lot of interceptions, a ball hawk, like Brooks says, but he does get cooked a lot. Either way, that's why I feel like Dallas has a lot of pressures, because now Dak is supposed to be this franchise quarterback too, but I can't. I gotta agree with you on Matt Stafford, man. Matt Stafford been around longer. His story is just like his time his window is a lot smaller than Dak's window is. So they got to get it done, and they got to get it done ASAP, bro, or else it's not going to be good for LA.
So Pedro just mentioned that Trayvon. What I feel about Trayvon Diggs. Omar, I got to ask you about that, man. Do you think Trayvon Diggs is a lockdown corner, a good guy from out of Wooten, out of Avalon, out of Alabama, BMV product? Is he a lockdown corner? Is he just a great ball hawk?
He's a great ball hawk, and that's okay. Like, I think I was having this debate on Twitter, which a great place to have a debate about anything, guys on Twitter.
Absolutely, every time.
I know. But the thing about Trayvon Diggs is he is a great ball hawk, and he is a turnover machine, and that is good. That helps your team. But the downside to that, and again, I'm a Ravens fan. I had Ed Reed on my team. The upside to Ed Reed was that he was right more often than he was wrong. And I think that happens. That's going to happen, I think, with Diggs as his career progresses, hopefully. But you always run the risk of when you go for the ball, when you make those risky plays, you're going to get burnt. And he's been burnt. And I think it's just kind of for the Cowboys, it's how much are you willing to put up with that? And again, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I think he does need to rein it in a little bit because he's given up like an absurd amount of yards. Like, I think it's like more than almost any other corner, like any other top level corner there is. So I think he definitely needs to work on that. But outside of that, I don't see the people who are saying that, he's just trash cornerback or he's not good at his job. No, part of the job at cornerback is to get the ball. The overall, football is very easy at the end of the day. Get ball, go to the end zone. You could break football down into those two things: get ball, end zone. And he's very good at one of those things, and that's fine. You can excel at one section. It's just I think he needs to cut back on the amount of times he takes those risks, because he'll be jumping for balls and then overshot it and touchdown. Like, can't have that happen once again.
That's the problem too. Plus, next year, because of the fact that he's become such a ball hawk, people are going to be like, we can't throw to him, even though his reputation is going to be otherwise. Because, like, again, he's throwing up, or he's giving up so many yards. So you're still going to challenge him. You're still going to think, okay, yeah, we can still beat up on this guy, and we'll take the risk of him, getting an interception or forcing a fumble, whatever it may be. Like, if I got throw it against Trayvon Diggs 10 times, I'll do it 9 times out of 10, honestly.
Bold. Look, he's not okay. He's not that trash. He'll pick it off a solid 3 times out of those 10, bro.
Out of 10 times, all right. Well, I'll take that too. He's
real. Go ahead and watch the tape. He's really good. He's good. He's good at being a ball hawk. He's good at eyeing the ball. It's just he does it too often. I get that's just my assessment. I'm not an expert, by the way. I am not an financial expert. Like put that out there, like that disclaimer. But no, I mean it's. I think it also depends on what people look for. Again, he's not a shutdown corner though. No, he's just not.
I think he has the ability, but he has the ability to be, but he kind of has like a little bit of the defensive version of Mahomes in him, right? Where he wants the big play every single time instead of trying to kind of take the game play by play. He wants to get it all at once, right? And that can cause what you guys are mentioning too, that he's going to get baked. And these receivers in the league are so nice. They're not getting worse. They're becoming better at route running. They're becoming more athletic, faster. These guys are 3-sport athletes. Like, they are really talented at the wide receiver position in the NFL. So Trayvon Diggs. He has to kind of work on his play style. Like being a ball hawk is cool and all, but it's more important to play good team defense. And sometimes being a ball hawk is not good team defense, and he could kind of waste what they got going on with the what's the dude's name? The linebacker for the Cowboys that's killing it right now. The rookie,
Micah Parsons. There we go.
He's
a killer.
You don't want to waste like a 3-sack drive just to give up a 60-yard touchdown. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully they're able to play good team defense, specifically Trayvon Diggs, not always wanting to give up that big play, man.
I think that's that NFC East rivalry running deep. By the way, big shout out to the NFC East. They get shit on a lot. I'm just saying, what other team in the NFC has two teams in the play? Well, actually, okay, the NFC West. All right, I'm just saying that they're not trash. All right, I think the NFC South is actually worse than the NFC East, but that's a story for another day, boys. Let's get into the games. Saturday, 4:30 p.m. We got Derek Carr and the Raiders, who kicked their way into the playoffs in that Sunday night spectacular against the Chargers, versus the Bengals, who finished season 10-7, first in the AFC North. I'm pretty sure they swept their division. The Bengals have been on a tear in the last few games of the season. Jamar Chase, an animal, absolute god right now. Joe Burrow, like you said, has a lot of people saying that he might be, the next Pat Mahomes or a top-level quarterback like that, and I think they're probably right. Joe Burrow is great. Again, people forget, the greatest season in college football history, bar none, was Joe Burrow. 62 touchdowns, it was like 6 interceptions. It was insane. So let's go into it, guys. I'll start with you, Pedro, because you kind of mentioned this earlier on. Can Derek Carr prove in this game that he's a franchise quarterback and lead the Raiders to victory?
Yes. I think that they're actually going to win this game. Ooh. I think that experience is going to play big in this matchup, where Joe Burrow, he may come in off these last 2 games. He's a young guy, man. He's a wide-eye, young bull still. And Derek Carr is a vet, and he knows what it's like to be in the playoffs. He knows what it's like to be in big games. Not to say that Joe Burrow's not talented and that the Bengals are not a team that is capable of winning the game, but I think the Raiders are just so resilient, man. Look at all this shit that they went through, all the players that they lost, just the emotional and all the controversy. I think that they are a dark horse team to make like a push to maybe like the AFC Championship. I'm not saying they will, but I think that they have a chance to at least, at the very minimum, win this game, which would, I think, in a lot of people's eyes, be an upset. I think most people are win. But let's revisit this, man. I could be wrong. The Bengals could blow them out by 40 points, or they can get upset in a heartbreaking, like, you know what I'm saying, like a 2-point game at the end, or something crazy, man.
I don't even know how to follow that up. Brooks, what do you got on this game? Because that was something that Pedro just said.
Pedro, he's a great take master over here for HMO, man. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the Bengals are gonna win this one too. Honestly, bro, when Joe first came into the league, I was like, great season at LSU, but we saw what he was capable of and incapable of the year prior and at Ohio State. Can I trust him? And then the year later, he gets his favorite target in Jamar Chase, which I thought going in was like, why didn't they pick up Penei Sewell, who's with the Lions, right? I was like, why do that? Why risk your quarterback's future, especially after he has such a devastating knee injury? But it proves how much I know as a football guy that this pairing that they have with Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow was exactly what they needed. They got a great big 3 skill players with him and their running back. I mean, it's going to be a great matchup. But I think the Raiders season ends tomorrow. I was never very impressed with the team anyway, and they've had their fair share of drama and just like things going on. I mean, they're not necessarily depleted, but they're not as threatening of a team as we hope that they would be. That defense is going to show some challenges for Cincinnati, but I think the Bengals win it by. I think they win it by 10.
I don't know why that tickled me so much though. like what you just said, like I just started laughing. I was just like, it was like the Raiders season ends tomorrow. Like it was so dramatic. It's like you die tomorrow. like it was like tomorrow you die. Like it's over, bro. Like, and by the way, Cincy it's our great mod. Big shout out to Cincy, is going crazy in the chat right now. Pedro, at your assertion, like there is some serious
emotional damage
going on in the chat right now. It is crazy.
Joe
but
Shiesty.
Joe
Nice
Shiesty.
TikTok. One of the best TikToks out there, man.
Oh, it's like one of the few good ones. Anyway, guys. So I'm gonna be very quick on this game. It's the Bengals' game to lose. Like the Bengals are the new shiny Maserati, and Derek Carr, I call him Derek Vehicle. Derek Carr is a Pontiac Tempest from 1966. Big shout out to the people in My Cousin Vinny. But and it's just like he can get to where you need to go to an extent, but if you're doing the cross-country road trip all the way over to, I believe the Super Bowl's in LA, right? You're doing that road trip, it's not gonna make it there. Nah, it's not gonna make it there. Like you'll get to Vegas, and he'll be home. That's fine, but he's not making it to Los Angeles. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, they're driving their Maserati. They're chilling. They're going. What's up?
You know what's crazy about that analogy? The fact that it's in Oakland. He doesn't even have to drive that far. So,
no, it's Las Vegas, bro. They done. They moved out of Oakland.
It says a whole lot about Derek Carr that in this analogy, he can't even go from Las Vegas to LA for a Super Bowl. That says a lot about a quarterback. And that should let you know who he is and what he's capable of.
Yo, but I want to add something in there though, man. I think whoever wins this game is going to be like a dangerous team to play in the next week. I know y'all don't think much of the Raiders. I know Brooks say you're not impressed, and I know the Bengals on paper, it looks like they should whack the Raiders, right? But I don't know. Obviously, the Chargers weren't quite, on I guess the Bengals were like a notch above them, but they were toe for toe with the Chargers. Justin Herbert, another sensational young quarterback. Joe Burrow, sensational young quarterback. I would say they're like a similar tier of quarterback. Again, on paper, it looks like the Bengals should win, but don't sleep on them Raiders, man. Don't sleep on them, bro.
We're all sleeping. We are fast asleep. Just took some melatonin. Gone, bro. And by the way, whoever wins, it doesn't matter who wins this game in the long run. Whoever wins this game is going to lose to the Bills or the Patriots, whoever the hell. They're going to lose next week. That's what's going to happen. They're going to lose next week. Whoever wins this game is guaranteed a spot in the divisional round to take that L. Take the Metro cards, board the L train. It's ogre. Guys, any last words on this before we move to our next game?
Nah, man, I got nothing.
He's Raiders, like, no more defenses. He's like, my man's out here like, I prefer a Pontiac Tempest over a Maserati.
When people buy the Maserati and the Maserati is fun and they want to drive it real fast, you know what happens sometimes when people like to drive the shiny new Maserati a little too fast? You know what happens? They hit the bump a little bit. They hit a curb and it fucks up a little bit. And you know what? It might just get totaled, man. If they drive too fast, you never know. So
you know what happens with the Pontiac Tempest though? Yeah, they fill it up. They're ready to go. They're driving, and they take that turn into the country kitchen buffet, and they go inside, and they eat their damn tasteless, damn spiceless, unseasoned mashed potatoes and grits or whatever the fuck they're gonna eat, and they just stay there. That's what the Raiders do. They're like, we made the playoffs. All right, cool. Let's just stay here, have fun, and not do shit, and go eat our damn bland ass food. Anyway, guys, let's move on because I know Pedro has to go in a little bit, so I want to try to get as many things as we can. Cincy in the chat says Joey franchise is going to the Super Bowl in LA. I don't know about all that, but let's move on to our next game. Again, Saturday night, the New England Patriots will be traveling up to Bills Mafia country to take on the Buffalo Bills. we've seen some crazy stuff happen this season between these two teams. There was a Monday night game where the Patriots ran the ball 40 times and only threw the ball 3 times and won against this team. So I'm sure Bill Belichick has a game plan if there's going to be 50-mile-per-hour winds again in Buffalo. But, Brooks, let's start with you. What do you think about this game, and who do you think is going to end up winning and become the class of the AFC East?
Well, I said it earlier, so I'm going to stick with it. I think the Bills win. I don't know. I just have faith that Josh Allen's going to be able to get it done tonight. No disrespect to Mac and Cheese and Bill Belichick over there, man, but I just don't think it's this year that he breaks that notion, I guess, that he can't be as successful without Tom Brady. I think it's great that they made the playoff. I think it's great that they made the wild card, but the dime stops on Saturday, and it's just going to be a long off season for them. They're going to be on the couch just like us.
Yo said, "Here's your participation trophy. Thanks for playing like shit." Pedro,
Exactly.
What about you, man? Oh, the disrespect that's been thrown around in this episode. It's just, Pedro, what about you, man?
Bills and Patriots, man. It's going to be a tough one, man. I think the Patriots are, another team that's like a sleeper team. But at the end of the day, Bills are going to be the better team. Bills are going to end up winning this one. I think it could be a close game. I think it could be like one of those games that's close, but the score won't fully reflect it, if that makes sense. But I'm going to pick the Bills, too, just based off of what they were able to do last year. I don't see them being a one-and-out team against a rookie quarterback.
I have learned in my many years watching football that when you go against Bill Belichick, you always lose. Like when you choose against him, you are bound to fail, because at the end of the day, especially in a team in the AFC East, there's no one I trust more to game plan for this game against the Buffalo Bills in the wild card round than Bill Belichick. Because he will hit you with the wildest game plan ever. Whether it's throwing the ball 40 times or running the ball 40 times, he'll do it and he'll win. And I think that factors in a lot, because now Bill Belichick has a Mac Jones who he can run that more conventional type of offense around if he wants to do that. Or he has these great running backs now in Harry and the like who can run the ball right down people's throats. And this Bills run defense is just like, it's crazy. The Bills run defense is, are we lagging? Oh, no, we're not. Anyway, since you don't say that. But anyway, so we got, but I just trust Bill Belichick way more than I trust, McDermott or anyone else. I think he's going to find a way to win this game. Whether or not they go to the Super Bowl, I don't know about all that, but this game, prime time, Saturday Night Football against a division rival, I got to choose Bill Belichick.
Hey, man, that's not a bad pick. I mean, like I said, I think the Patriots are a sleeper team to win a game or two in the playoffs. I'm just not sure if I trust. They're playing at Buffalo or at New England?
They're playing at Buffalo. The funny thing is, though, so there's a lot of Buffalo Bills fans who actually crossed the border, like season ticket holders who crossed the border from Canada to go to the games, and the border recently closed because of Omicron, and the Omarion. But the border closed, so there's a lot of tickets that are still available. You have to imagine by game time those tickets are going to be gone because people in Buffalo are crazy about the Bills and it's a playoff game. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe that factors in. Maybe you get some Patriots fans just coming in to make him a little bit less of a home field advantage.
I could see that happening too, honestly. I think because both fan bases are crazy for their football team. So why not invade Buffalo and make it seem like it's a little less hostile territory for them?
Both fan bases are crazy, period.
Yep.
Let's continue on, guys, and talk about an NFC playoff game that's happening right now. We got the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the defending Super Bowl champions, who once again will compete for or defend their title, you could say, and they're going to do it coming out of the wild card once again, guys. What do you guys think? Is there any chance that the Eagles pull off the upset here?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. We already know that this game is going to go a little something like Tom Brady throws a pick or two touchdowns, and they probably win the game by like 28 points. So I really don't see there being any chance for the Eagles. It's Tom Brady, man. It's Tom Brady we're talking about. He's great and he's lucky. He's very great and very lucky. So wild card weekend, no way that they're going to lose. The Eagles have zero. They have as much of a chance at winning that game as I do, as you do, and Brooks does.
Damn.
Damn,
Brooks,
okay.
Damn. Just
Man.
disrespecting every take. It's
Man.
just like throw some sprinkle some disrespect. Like, oof.
I'm gonna be a little more positive about it, man. We saw last year Tom Brady took on an NFC East team and a Washington football team, and that was their quote unquote hardest game to win for the playoff run. So, I mean, you never know. NFC East in the playoffs again. Maybe we'll see Philly make it a little more difficult for them, and maybe it'll be a closer game than we expect. I don't think they're gonna upset the Bucs. Even though the Bucs are like really dealing with a lot of injuries right now, but I think it's going to be closer than we expect. But Tom Brady does pull out the victory and moves on to the second round of the playoffs.
I think the Bucs are going to win, but the caveat here is there is a path to victory for the Eagles that's actually, I think, quite not likely, but possible. The biggest thing this team has going for them is they can run the ball. They can run the ball, they can run clock out and give Tom Brady less chances. And that has been a proven formula in the past. Washington was able to actually do a little bit of that last year. The Ravens, for the longest time, did that. They just ran the ball, ran the clock out, controlled time in the playoffs against Tom Brady. And those have been some of the hardest games he's had in the playoffs. Pittsburgh, also another team that, by the way, was able to do that. So that's how you beat this Tom Brady team. And the Eagles are equipped to do that as far as running the ball. They have 3 running backs who can run the ball. They have Jalen Hurts, who is, I think he's proven that he can play in this league as a starter. Whether or not his future is in Philly, I'm not sure, because that franchise is just going to probably, they're going to chew him up and spit him out, because that's just what they do with everyone they've had over the past like 10 years. That's what they do. But that being said, I think if they run the ball, control time of possession, and you got to pray that Tom Brady makes a mistake, get pressure in his face, it's possible, but your game plan has to be running the ball. And, if you're Nick Sirianni up there in Philadelphia and you're making the game plan with all the stuff and the roots of the plants are being planted and they're growing, the seed's going to grow, you better grow some damn balls and figure out that throwing the ball is not going to do anything for you, Nick. Because he hasn't figured that out this entire season. You got one receiver who can actually catch the ball, and you managed not to get him the ball. So, I don't know. I mean, Bucs, yes, but Eagles, not no. That's my take on that.
I get you.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's receivers, they get so incredibly wide open all the time that I really don't think it matters who's out there. AB, don't need him. Chris Godwin hurts, but you can still do without him. So I think that they'll do just
Tom
fine.
Brady's receivers get extra sensitive this time of year. It's just like peace. You guys see that interview AB did, where he's like, if Tom Brady was my friend, I would have been paid more, and I was just like, dog.
And then, but you know what though? I mean, he got Gronk. He has $1 million payout, so maybe there's some credence in there, man. Because they're talking about AB it catches away from all these incentives and this, that, and the third, and he got it for Gronk, but he didn't get it for AB.
Yeah, well, no, he got it for AB last year though. Like he actually,
but not this year though. Not this year though. No, what have you done for me lately?
No, this year, you know what? AB was like 8 catches away from getting his incentives, and then he said he didn't want to play. And then he said he didn't want to play any piece. I'm just saying, it's like with AB. See, here's the thing: the difference between Gronk and AB, right? Like, I think Gronk is someone who, look, AB, wherever he's gone, it's always ended badly. It's just the truth. It is just the truth. Like, you go to Oakland, I've never seen someone piss away $30 million so willingly. So willingly. He pissed it away, fighting the GM, recording calls, and then releasing them with John Gruden. And then, like, just saying, oh, I could literally play on Monday. 2 days away. I could play on Monday. Nah, release me. He played on Monday. He would have had $30 million in the bank. New England Patriots, all he had to do was not release text messages where he threatened his accuser. And, like, that's all you had to do. You didn't need to do that, and he did that. I'm just saying, it's just a pattern of, like, behavior. And, again, I'm very clear about this. I hope he figures out what he has to do and is fine in his life, and I'm sure he is. He's way more money than I'll ever have. But at the end of the day, I do think there's a difference as far as reliability, because the thing is, the reason you don't pay AB $30 million off the bat guaranteed is because something like this might happen. And what happened? Something like this. And, like, that's my big thing, because AB is a generational talent, and he should be paid, like if it was just based off of talent, he should be paid $30 million. He should be. Absolutely. He deserved it based off of his talent, but based off of his actions as a teammate, as a member of the community, as all that, you just can't warrant it, because at the end of the day, I know someone like OBJ is going to be available for me. I know someone like Mike Evans, if you're talking about the Bucks. I know Mike Evans is going to be there. I know Godwin, if he's healthy, he's going to be there. Cameron Brate, Gronk, all these guys, they're going to be there. OJ Howard. But can you say the same about AB? The track record says no. Like, that's my biggest frustration, because, like, he's just such a great player. You want to see great players play, but not when they're just shooting themselves in their own foot every time they have a chance to do that. Like, that's what frustrates me about that whole situation.
Yeah, and before we move on, because I know Peter's got to leave soon, man. But my last thing about AB, I think two things can be true about him. I think he probably does have some issues going on up here that maybe it's just from football, or maybe from childhood, whatever it may be. But I also think he's just straight up an asshole. I think that's what it is. Because
aren't we all though? Like, to an extent.
And, yeah, to an extent, we definitely all are. It's different from us three being an asshole, and then a dude that's making millions of dollars playing a child's game being an asshole and, like, pissing away money, like you said. Like, if I was him, if I'm him, I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make some money. Yeah.
Y'all still got that check written out. The money is still in furlough. I take it. I'll take it. Like, you don't even gotta give me the full $30 million. Just give me like 30. Give me like 30. Yeah. I'll take that. Give me 30. Let me get some Chipotle ordered. Like, but yeah. Hey, what are you gonna do? Hey, well, I'm sure we'll probably talk about AB at some point, because it always comes back around. Pedro, I know you got to go in a little bit, so can you do one more game before you go?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. So San Francisco 49ers going to be taking on the Dallas Cowboys Sunday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. San Francisco is a team that a lot of people actually have favored in this game, and there's been a bit of a debate about who the actual underdog is in this game. Pedro, I'm going to go to you first. Who's the underdog in this game, and who do you think's going to win?
I would say just naturally, most people are going to pick the Cowboys to win this one. So that would make San Francisco the underdogs. The whole Trey Lance, Jimmy G thing has been really awkward, that them kind of rotating the position. And then, again, people are always going to overrate Dallas, man. It's Dallas, bro. They're fucking overrated, bro. They're the most overrated team ever in life, in history of the world, bro. Like, come on. America's team? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? I'm sorry, man. It's just they always get favored in games that they have no business being favored. They started like 7-1 and or like 6-1 or whatever, and I was hearing all this chatter about how they're the title favorites. They got it figured out on defense, blah, 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 blah. And that's when the Niners go in and win this game. Wow, man, maybe Dak is not that great. It happens all the time. Then he comes back, starts stat padding the next. It's like I feel like I'm throwing so much shade on these players, man. They're all great, but the Cowboys are overrated. They're most likely going to be. I don't even know what's the favorite. What the percentage is. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm hearing people say Dallas would be winning this game, but I'm gonna go with San Francisco.
Brooks, what about you? Who you got in this game?
I mean, even though Jimmy G has a Super Bowl in his resume, I think that Super Bowl team was more carried by everything else than him. He's proven that he's not like the go-to. I'll say he's not like your preferred choice to be a Super Bowl level quarterback. Like he's not. I don't think he has that thing. I don't think he has that it factor inside of him. So if I have to pick between Jimmy G and Dak, begrudgingly, I'm going to pick Dak, even though, I'm a Washington football team fan. So I'm going to go with them. I have a little more faith in just the Cowboys in general. They have a great defense with Micah Parsons there, Trevon Diggs, the great ball hawk over there. Micah Parsons, sack. The dude is a walking sack, literally. He can do everything that you need him to do. The main reason why they let go of Jalen Smith, I mean, you can't ask for anything more from him. So I think just everything is coming together for his Dallas team. I don't think they're going to go to the Super Bowl, but I think they do win this game. I think they might be 1-0, depending on who they run into second round. So we'll see what happens. I say this begrudgingly. I do not like picking the Cowboys ever. I will never do that again.
I'm aware. And by the way, congratulations. In about a month, you guys will have an official name, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping for like the Admirals or something like that. But you saw what?
The Admirals.
What's the name that there was a name that somebody was saying that Washington was going to go with? I don't remember what it was.
The Admirals, like that. That was the name that came out and leaked, like because they had like the little patches, like Admiral patches on there. Like I don't think that I think
they had a website registered to them too.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. They had a website registered. They originally wanted Red Wolves, but it was too hard for them to get the trademark. Like they had to pay money, and Dan Snyder's cheap, so he's like even cheapest billionaire I know.
Our favorite owner, our favorite NFL owner, right there.
Yeah, Pedro, I'm gonna make this quick, but. Look,
last two.
As what's up?
We can finish off these last two after Cowboys and Niners.
Okay, cool. So let me just get this out. Like, I understand the Dallas Cowboys; they are the better team. And Brooks, you are right. It's all come together for the Dallas Cowboys this year, it seems, and it's come together for them to do exactly what they've been doing for the last 20 to 30 years, and that is choke all the talent away. That is what they do in the playoffs. And there could be no worse opponent, I think, for the Dallas Cowboys than this team. If it was the Eagles, I think the Eagles would have gotten swamped by the Cowboys. If it was anyone else, honestly, I think Dallas would have had a better chance. The Cardinals, they would have had a better chance against the Cardinals. San Francisco is healthy. They have 3 running back rotation now. Jimmy G, again, I agree with you. He's not a franchise quarterback in the sense of you're not going to win games because of him. But he, unlike someone like a Carson Wentz, he's not going to make the mistakes in crunch time that are going to kill you most of the time. Although that Super Bowl might tell you otherwise. But I think Jimmy G has actually done well in his role because going into this year, it was made clear his role was not going to be the reason we win every time. Going into this year, Jimmy G was a facilitator, and that's what he did this year very efficiently. And that is why this team is 10-7, in part because of his ability to facilitate and not mess things up and put Deebo Samuel in situations to make plays. And I think Deebo Samuel against Diggs is going to be an absurd matchup to watch because Deebo's going to burn him on every single deep route, and it's going to be hilarious. Crazy. It's just a matter of Jimmy G has the arm strength to get it down the field, which we'll see. And I think for the San Francisco 49ers, it's super easy. This game plan is super easy. I love Micah Parsons, but they're getting their rookie running back healthy. We saw Elijah Mitchell came on this season. Like they're just a running back factory over there in San Francisco, and the defensive line is going to get to Dak, I think, at least 3-4 times. The San Francisco 49ers should be the favorite in this game, and I think they are. And I think they're going to squeak one by Dallas. Again, I think it's going to be close, but it's going to be like something like 27-20. I think I'm going to give them a touchdown victory because I just think this San Francisco team is dangerous. Like, if there's any wild card team for me that I think is dangerous and has the ability to make a run, I'm going to pick the 49ers because they can run the ball and play elite defense. And those are two things that is hard to say about a lot of other teams in the field right now. But yeah.
Well said. Well
Yep.
said.
All right, moving on. Let's go. We're going to do this one quickly. Pittsburgh, Kansas City. Pedro, why is Kansas City going to win?
Oh, man, it's Kansas City, man. It's Patrick Mahomes. It's revitalized Chiefs defense that saw a stretch where they were allowing single-digit points week after week after week. So it seems like they got their shit together over there. Mahomes looks like he knows how to play football again. And most importantly, Jackson Mahomes looks like he's been on timeout, man. So as long as he doesn't come out with no fuck shit before the game, I think we should be just fine. We meaning Team Mahomes, man. I'm not a Chiefs fan, just by the way. I am a Giants fan, and Patrick Mahomes is my favorite player. I really could care less about the Chiefs as a team. If Patrick Mahomes has a great day and the Chiefs lose, that's good for me. But it's the Steelers. Big Ben, the farewell tour has come to an end. What did Draymond say? They don't love you like that. But you thought you was Kobe? That's how I feel about Ben Roethlisberger, man. So good riddance to Ben Roethlisberger. He annoyed me as a player, and he's a shit human being. I'm not a fan of him. And Najee Harris, great season, can reflect, and that's a really good thing the Steelers can have looking forward to next season, is he's going to be a dog. So Najee Harris, shout out to him. Steelers, can't wait to see what they're going to look like moving forward, but Chiefs are going to steamroll the Steelers, man.
Brooks?
Yeah, I think the main matchup is going to be whether or not TJ Watt gets like 2 or 3 sacks, because he's already the sack leader for the season. I think they protested a sack or something over the week, but
they try to get it's like that should have been a sack, dude. If every forced fumble and fumble recovery in NFL history was a sack, that record would have been broken like 8 times. Like
big facts. But yeah, with that being said, it's definitely going to be the Chiefs, barring some type of catastrophic collapse or an injury to, let's say, Patrick Mahomes. The big thing I think you have to look after is whether or not Tyreek Hill's heel is going to be okay. We saw that we saw that practice catch that he had, going up 10 inches or like 45 inches in the air or whatever. He could barely play last weekend. I think it's going to be interesting what happens with him. You do not want that to become even worse. Heel injuries can be pretty tricky. So it depends on like how can he go like full go? Is he 100% or is he going to be limited? But even then, they still have Travis Kelce. They have a plethora of other wide receivers, so it's not going to be like they're going to hurt with just Tyreek Hill going to be being gone. So, yeah, I'm picking Chiefs.
Only thing I'm going to say about this, because Chiefs are winning, only thing I'm going to say about the injury, if Patrick Mahomes, for whatever reason, gets injured, it's okay, because they got Chad Henne. Look at the record, people. Never lost. Never lost in the playoffs. Never lost. 1-0. Never lost.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters, man. That 1-0. That 1-0. When the 3 plays they need him to make, he'll make them. He'll make them. Man's old as shit, but he'll make them. Finally, the first ever Monday night football playoff game. Exciting times. I'm definitely doing the stream for that. But you got 8:15.
So are we.
Monday night. Hey, we gotta you know what we gotta do? We gotta have like your stream up on my stream, and then my stream up on yours to get like a triple simulcast.
I'll be down for that. Let's do it.
We'll do something. We'll figure something out, I'm sure.
Historic.
Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy night too, especially with these two teams. Historic night. Cardinals versus the Rams. Matt Stafford's first ever playoff game as a member of the Los Angeles Football Rams. You also got Kyler Murray's first playoff game. A lot of narratives, a lot of storylines. We're going to find out who's the best NFC West team out of this. But my big question for both of you is, can Kyler Murray prove that he is the guy that the Cardinals picked him number 1 overall to be and win this game? Brooks, let's go to you first.
Honestly, man, earlier in the season, I was a huge fan of Black Yoda. I was a huge fan of this Cardinals team. I'm thinking, dang, this is one of the best teams to come out of Arizona in a long time. They're going to be a Super Bowl threat. and we've seen them really collapse down the stretch. I mean, they're just not who they're supposed to be. They lose DeAndre Hopkins probably for the season. That's knee injury. I don't think he's going to come back for the playoffs. And that's Kyler Murray's best target. I mean, I just don't see it happening, man. And even though they're going to be on the road, where they're great on the road for whatever reason, but then they can't win anything at home, I don't think that's going to help. I think the Rams in the NFC, even with Matt Patford over there, and like just the questions surrounding him in the playoffs. I mean, I think they're going to make it. They can run to the NFC Championship game, and we'll see what happens for that game. But I think that Kyler Murray is the quarterback for Arizona. I just think they just ran into a brick wall as far as injuries go, and it's going to be the reason why they lose on Monday against the Rams.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna have to agree with Brooks on this one, man. The Cardinals their chances are looking real bad. It's looking slim to none. DeAndre Hopkins, the number one guy, Kyler Murray, it's not there. And even if he does force himself to come back, say if they pull out a miracle, it's just going to be bad long term for the Cardinals. So I think that they're going to take the L here. I think that the Rams are going to come. I think Matt Stafford is going to feel that pressure that we've all been alluding to, and he's going to dominate this game. I think Matt Stafford is going to have like 3 touchdowns, no picks, 300-plus yard type of game. He's going to have a great outing. OBJ is going to have a touchdown. Cooper Kupp might have a touchdown or 2. And I think that Aaron Donald is going to his star is just going to shine in the playoffs, man. And I'm not a big fan of short quarterbacks in the NFL playoffs anyways. I know Kyler Murray has a really special set of skills, but I think when you have Aaron Donald on the other side, it's just going to be probably too much to overcome when you don't have your main guy. And it seems like Kyler Murray, he struggles when his first read is not open. So he's already he might even start running out of clean pockets. And I think you can't do that against this Rams team. So it's going to be tough for them to win it, man.
Sir, you can have your football takes, but please don't bring heights into this. That is unnecessary and quite hurtful, to be honest with you. Some people are very sensitive about that kind of stuff, all right?
It's hard to be vertically challenged sometimes, bro. It's hard to be vertically challenged.
He's a great quarterback, man. But I'm telling you, man, I'm just – me personally, man, I can't think of too many guys outside of Drew Brees and Russell Wilson that are like –
Doug Flutie, baby, the should have been the greatest quarterback in the history of the NFL. Never got a chance because he was like 5'7", but he was cutting it up everywhere he went. This dude, I will pick this game. I promise you, we'll be quick. But Doug Flutie, like the little known story, this man led the Bills to the playoffs. Like the entire season, he was a starter. He was really good, and then the first playoff game comes around, and the head coach Wade Phillips says, "Damn, he's too short to be a quarterback in the playoffs." Benches him. Benches the quarterback who got you to the playoffs in the first playoff game and then gets routed. And it's like, well, goddamn, son, where'd you find this? I shouldn't have done that. Like, no shit, Wade Phillips, you shouldn't have done that. But anyway, short quarterbacks don't get the love they most desperately need. I cannot wait for the first 5'6" quarterback in NFL history in like 5 years. Anyway,
oh my gosh.
This game, fellas, Rams, Cardinals. I'm going with the Cardinals because the Rams this season have just proven in big moments, in must-win games, they have not been able to do that. Look at the teams they've lost to. These Cardinals, they got routed by earlier on this season. The 49ers, they just lost to in overtime. The Packers, they actually got swept by the 49ers, by the way. And so I'm just saying, this is a team that, yes, they have beaten a lot of really shitty teams. I think only one of their wins actually came up. I'm just looking this up. One of their wins was against a playoff team. Wins was against. They beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the Rams. One of their wins was against a playoff team. Outside of that, they have not beaten a playoff team this year. That is a big red flag for me. Matt Stafford against these Cardinals, who they've already lost to. Give me the Cardinals. Give me Kyler Murray. Give me Baby Yoda doing this 4 times in the end zone, baby. Let's go. I got them moving on. I got Kyler Murray going to the NFC title game. Never lost
Wow.
until he gets to the NFC title game.
Hey, care to place a wager on that, man? We should do like a Brooks already owes the
I got you, bro. I
Yeah,
got
dude.
you.
I owe the fantasy league some pizza.
Brooks already owes.
17. I got you, bro. 17,000 Dogecoin on this game. Let's go.
17,000. This guy.
Yeah, I'm sure we get something, but yeah, as we're winding down, I know Pedro has to go, guys. Last thing I'll ask, and then we'll head out. What do you guys got going on in HMO podcast on HMO Nation, whatever we want to call it? We'll come up with a fun name for it. But HMO, what you guys got coming up?
Nation. So we got some new merch that we're cooking up. Brooks and I are just kind of we're working on a release date for the new merch. I can't wait for you guys to see that. So stay tuned. Follow us on IG if you want to see any updates to that, and as well as just content outside of YouTube. Obviously, if you guys like, if you guys want to see more collabs with us and Real Take, man, let us know. This is a Real Take HMO. Is always a great collaboration, whether he's on our show or we're on his show. It's always a great time. And we're watching football all fucking weekend, man. We're watching football all weekend, bro.
It's going to be a great time, man.
Yep. It's going to be a fun time. Sleep, stream, and snack for the next 3 days. You got to love it.
Yes, sir.
Pedro, Brooks. We did it.
Thanks,
we did it.
All
right, next up, we got to get me on your show one of these days, but we'll find time for that, I'm sure. HMO podcast. Go to www.youtube.com/HMO podcast. Great content there if you want to get streams, some interviews in their archives. They got it all. They got a lot of fun stuff in there. Go check them out. And until next time, everyone, in the memory of Bob Saget, throw one up, say a prayer, and keep it real.